And I am live. Hello, everybody who may happen to be there or may not. I figured I would do a tag because I haven't done one in a little while. And I figured I'd do it live because why not? I'm trying to do a few more lives because they're fun. So this one is going to be the Witchy Firsts Tag. There's 13 questions. Let's see how fast I can get through them because I tend to ramble. So the first one is, how did you encounter paganism, witchcraft, or magic for the first time? So with this one, I had a hard time kind of picking out the answer because it depends on if you mean paganism as what I understand it is now or as what I understood it as then. So like when I learned the words for it or when I was doing it. I've always kind of had an animistic way of looking at things. I've always kind of been that person who finds like the portals in the trees or like the biggest leaf of them all that is a special magic leaf. But I don't think I actually knew that the term was pagan until my mom was reading a lot of like the Starhawk books and stuff. And we started looking into that side of thing. And I remember hearing her talk about it and I'm like, oh, that's what I am. So, yeah. Let's see. Number 2, what was your first book? So I grabbed them really quickly. I used to read a lot of my mother's, right? And so none of them was like technically my first book. So I was thinking in terms of like, what were my first books? My first books were not, hi, Julie. I'm doing the Witchy Firsts Tags. And hi, Noah. So I'm on the question number 2, which is, what was your first book? And my first books were not, I guess, what you would call witchy directly, because I didn't really get witchy books, thank you, until like later on in things. When I first started looking into paganism and everything, it was through my genealogy and looking up like our native roots and things like that. So I really started through, I guess, what you would call earth-based first, and then transitioned into what I would then know as paganism. So a lot of the books that I liked when I was really young were native-based, or I was really fascinated by Eastern philosophy and things like that too. So like the first book that I would recommend that was like one of my first key ones is Black Elk Speaks. Hopefully that's not flipped for you guys. It looks flipped for me. But Black Elk Speaks is about an Oglala Sioux holy man, and this guy goes and interviews him and talks to him, and he talks about all these visions that he's had, and it's just a great book. And then, hi, Sweet Susie. Hi, Doobie-Doo. The next book was Earth Medicine by Jamie Sams. And this book has a bunch of beautiful poetry to ancestors and the moon and the heartbeat of the land and all kinds of things in it, and it's gorgeous. And then the one that I recommend to everybody, like everybody, is The Tao of the Pooh by Benjamin Hoff, or Tao of Pooh. And it's literally Pooh Bear, and the author is sitting there with Pooh Bear and his friends, and he's explaining like what Taoism to them. Taoism is to them. And it's a great book. I mean, there's like, I'm going to read something really quick because this was like, I was like 13 reading this shit, okay? And this one page blew my mind. I don't know how to say their names, so I'm going to call them H and C. H said to C, I have a large tree which no carpenter can cut into lumber. Its branches and trunk are crooked and tough, covered with bumps and depressions. No builder would turn his head to look at it. Your teachings are the same, useless, without value. Therefore, no one pays attention to them. As you know, C replied, a cat is very skilled at capturing its prey. Crouching low, it can leap in any direction, pursuing whatever it is after. But when its attention is focused on such things, it can be easily caught with a net. On the other hand, a huge yak is not easily caught or overcome. It stands like a stone or a cloud in the sky, but for all its strength, it cannot catch a mouse. You complain that your tree is not valuable as lumber. but you could make use of its shade it provides, rest under its sheltering branches, and stroll beneath it, admiring its character and appearance. Since it would not be endangered by an axe, what could threaten its existence? It is useless to you only because you want to make it into something else and do not use it in its proper way. In other words, everything has its own place and function. That applies to people, although many don't seem to realize it, stuck as they are in the wrong job, the wrong marriage, or the wrong house. When you know and respect your own inner nature, you know where you belong. You know where you, and you also know where you don't belong. One man's food is often another man's poison, and what is glamorous and exciting to some can be a dangerous trap to others. That at 13 blew my head, my little tiny prepubescent brain. So those are my first books. Okay, so the third one, what was the first spell you ever performed? The first spell I ever performed was probably it was a spell for courage and bravery and protection for my best friend at the time. She was having a lot of trouble in school with people picking on her, and I got some High John the Conqueror oil and a tiger's eye, and I made a chant, and we went out into the woods across from my house, and we chanted, and we rubbed this stone, and we sent energy into it, and then she kept it with her. So that was probably one of the first ones I can imagine, like, actually being a thought out ritualistic kind of thing. And we were preteens then as well. Let's see. Number 5. Who was the first? No, wait. What was your, sorry, number 4. What was your first crystal stone or crystal or stone? Oh, my first crystal. Guys, I can't even. So my first crystal was a really simple one. It was a little piece of a quartz that I'd broken off of, I believe it was my mom's cluster. And I carried it in a medicine pouch. I still have it. It's in the car. And I wore this thing with this crystal in it constantly. It went in the shower with me. It went swimming with me. It just everywhere. I slept in it. And anytime that I was feeling anxious or I was feeling sad or like maybe I had lost my way or I didn't know who I was, I would hold that crystal and think of it as being like my center, my home. And to this day still, like if I feel like that, I will go hunt that crystal down. Right now it sits in my car because the cord on it, because it's thread, over time it broke. And so I had to tie it back. And I was afraid of losing it. So I hung it on the rear view mirror of my car. And that's where it stays now. But, you know, every now and then I'll just kind of grab it and hold it. So that's my first stone. Let's see. You guys can answer this too, by the way, in the chat. It doesn't just have to be like, hi, and then you're listening. Okay. So who was the first god / goddess you encountered on your path? By that, I'm assuming you mean my witchy / pagan path. Well, I mean, I know that the like the male-female sort of dichotomy thing is one of the first sort of presences that I remember, but in actual like god goddess sort of form, probably Father Sky, Tunkashila, that kind of thing. And then after that, I had like a fascination with Egyptian mythology and Greek mythology as a kid. And one of the first gods and goddesses that I ever worked with would be Horus and Persephone, who hilariously, I look back now and it makes total sense because they both had like a dualistic nature. And that's a big part of who I am. Let's see. Number 6 is, how did you first meet other pagans? My mother. I can't remember if it started with us going out into the community or she did a drumming circle first, but I think they might have happened simultaneously. I don't know. But we would go out to like Sabbats, or we go to like the UU church, or we would go to festivals, workshops all around. And from going to those, we met other people, especially like, you know, I lived in a small town. So pretty much there was like only a handful of people from the county as a whole that would come to those kind of things. So you would see each other a lot, and you just built friendships from that. And then also my mother had women's drummings every full moon, some of them, and some of them were new moon. And you met a lot of women through that too. So that's a thing. What was the first festival, meetup, or public gathering you attended? So like I tried to think about this, guys, like legit. I sat here and like racked my brain for a while. And I cannot think of the single one. I can think of a bunch of old ones, but not that one. Again, like I said, I can't remember whether it was my mom doing it or like us going out. I don't know. We did a lot of workshops and things like that. So it was probably like a meetup workshop kind of thing. Like I would have to say it was probably on energy work, because that was some of the earliest stuff. And also, I guess you could technically call a powwow that, because there's a lot of earth-based religion going on there. So, or earth-based spirituality. So probably a powwow. I used to dance in them. So like they were my home base for a long time in Virginia. What was your first class or workshop you took? Again, I can't remember the exact. We did it a lot, but probably energy work. Either that or tea leaves, which I have still not acquired the skill for. I will drink the tea. I will make the tea. I cannot, for the life of me, read the tea. It is not a talent that I possess. Let's see. What was the first method of divination? Oh, no, wait. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. What was the first chant you learned? Grandmother Spider Woman, rock me. Grandmother Spider Woman, rock me. Join us together, help us to be free. Join us together, help us to be free. That one probably. Or the classic, the earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. I love chants. Like that's probably my favorite part of this whole practice is the singing and the chanting, the songs, the rhymes. Let's see. What was the first method of divination you learned? Honestly, I don't know if you would technically call this, but like dream interpretation and learning symbolism via the animals was like the very, very beginning of all of it. And then from there, probably tarot, because I've been doing tarot for like over 18 years now. And yeah, tarot. I tried to do runes. When I was younger, and they were like, fuck out of here. In my 20s, suddenly they're like, yeah, okay, come on, we'll work with each other. So I didn't actually get to like mesh with the runes until I was older. But tarot, probably. What was your first tool? Yes, I love chants. Yeah. Well, and we used to do a lot of drumming too. So it was just like a natural flow out of it, you know? My first tool that I ever had, I'm trying to think back. So this is one of them, which I showed on a live chat the other day. This is a knife for my regalia for powwows. This is wax on it, guys. Don't be, look, it sets on an altar. But my brother hand carved it. So that's probably one of the first ones because I used that as my athame. For a long time, I did. Now I have like a ton of them because sharp, pointy things are kind of a thing with me. I like swords and knives and daggers and collecting them. And also I had this 3-tiered kind of candelabra thing. And if you look at my video for Mother's Night and Yule, the altar in there has it as the centerpiece because it's usually my centerpiece at that time of the year. But it has 3 stands, and I would use, I remember, I've had this for forever. So it's like brass, and it looks like vines or like tree limbs with leaves on it, and, or I guess it'd be a bronze. And then I would use 3 white candles. The center would be like the all, and then you would have like your masculine and your feminine or your god and goddess kind of thing. And then over time it's evolved to be whatever the hell I want it to be. So nowadays I usually use it during Yule, and I have like a red candle and a green candle and then a white candle. So, hi, Nikki. Let's see here. What else? What was the first method or exercise you learned from energy work? Breath work or the classic energy ball was also a thing. But breath work was probably one of the first. Definitely. What is a memorable or favorite first on your path that wasn't included in the above questions? Probably when my fetch, like my spirit animal, merged with me like fully in a dream, and I woke up with essentially a new pair of eyes. That was at like 13, and again, there's a video about it on my channel where I talk about it, and kind of set the space. Exactly. Yeah, you did that with your hands. My hands went straight to affiliate. Yep. So yeah, so those are the 13 questions. And if you guys have anything else you want to ask since I'm here, I'll answer them. But I just kind of wanted to get on here and do it live because why not? Interact with some people. Say hi. How's your life? How you doing? How's today? I'm going to take a sip of coffee while I wait. Yes, I will. After I stop going live, I will put them in underneath of the video. I have them in front of me as well. I wonder if I can drop them in chat as well. I don't know who first started this, to be honest. If somebody does, please say it in chat so they get credit, because I have no idea. I saved it a long time ago. Well, this is going to be run on, but there you go, guys. Oh, maybe it won't. Oh, yeah, no, it only gives me like 200 limit, so I can't. I'll put it in the thing underneath later. Ooh, peppermint tea. That's one of my favorites. I love mint. Mint anything. Today was awesome. Why was it awesome? Thumbs up. And yes, I agree. Like, today is a lot prettier. The last few days it's been raining and raining and raining. And I love rain. But I miss sunlight. I live in the land of the tundra. I miss sunlight. Please give me warm sun. Ah, that sounds like a wonderful day. Collecting sticks. Yep, Julie, I live in Ohio as well. Northern, central, southern, where are you? I am northern Ohio. Ooh. A stone circle. That sounds beautiful, Nikki. Oh, okay, Julie. So you're down there around my friend Zach, who's on YouTube. You're around his parts. Whoa. I love that. Got a huge one, gonna make into a staff. So big I had to drag it to the car. That sounds beautiful. Can you guys see? No. Well, kinda. So this right here, this thing going up, and it's like swooping in and then coming out right here, these antlers with the feather. That is my staff. It's usually hiding. But that's my staff that I got at my priestessing. And everybody hung different things on it. That was a really cool ritual. I'll have to like talk about that sometime. Oh yeah, yeah. She says she can never find anyone in this area. Yeah, dude. There's I honestly think that south, like southern Ohio, and even like central, even around like Columbus, especially, there's a ton of pagans. Actually, Julie, there's a pagan pride festival in Dayton, Ohio. They're actually trying to raise money for it and stuff right now. So if you go on Facebook and you search like pagan pride, Dayton, it'll come up. You're in South Wales? Ooh. Is it beautiful there right now? What's it look like? Ooh. Okay, you know about it then. All right. So if everybody could go one place in the world, absolutely free of charge, anywhere they want, do whatever they want, where would they go? I'll say two. I'll say two places because that's difficult. Two places. Where would you go? Or would you go anywhere? For me, I would go to Norway and I would go to England. There's a place in England that my last name comes from. And I want to like stand on that land. I want to stand on that land and know that that is like the bones of my ancestors, essentially, like that they once walked there. So, yeah. And then Norway, I've just always been really, really drawn to. My brother went to Ireland. He said he loved it. Said it's absolutely beautiful. That was actually his like honeymoon, their vacation. Iceland and New Zealand. Those would be pretty. Yeah. Scotland. A lot of people are saying Ireland. Yeah. I mean, like, I'll be really honest, guys. I made it too because I would go anywhere and everywhere, pretty much. Like, I want to see the world in general. I think that's why I started getting into mythology and stuff like that at such a young age, is because I was fascinated by like all the different traditions and the different customs and all of that. Can you get your staff out so I can see it? I'm feeling some hesitancy there. Not because of you, but just because I don't think it wants to be shown. So maybe at another date, I will show that. But not right now. Sorry. Actually, yeah. It does just kind of hang out in the background of my videos, but it's usually hidden by me, I guess, huh? Let's see. I could show you Myrna if you'd like to see Myrna, the besom over here. And yes, it has a name. Aw, thanks, Nikki. Yeah, I'm actually going through this room and sorting through things that I no longer need. Like I've got the spring summer bug and sorting through stuff. So we'll see we'll see how clean I can get this. A little less cluttered. Like I've got books that have to be stacked sideways right now and this annoys me. Yeah, like anybody else's room has it and I'm like, oh, that's really pretty and it looks lived in, and for mine I'm just like, I just want to set you straight. So yeah, okay, well, 1 second, I'll get Myrna. Get off me. So this is Myrna. Well, chair. She is a besom. Trying to get her all in frame. There we go. Myrna has a lot of cool stuff. So this was made by a hedge witch in Virginia. And she makes awesome stuff. I'll see if her store is still going and link it in the bottom if it is after this live. But so Myrna has a bunch of things in her. Can you see the eye and the long mouth? Yeah. And then she also has another face at the bottom. I don't know if that's going to translate. Get in there. Nope, not my face. No, do not follow my face. It's not gonna. But basically, like, there's 2 divots and a mouth. Like that. It's not translating on there. And then there is a sideways skull, who I love. There's all kind of things hidden in her. That's why I love wood. Like, you guys, you heard it first. I love wood. But no, really, like, I love wood because as you're working with it, images just come out when you listen to it. But yeah, so this is Myrna. She's called Myrna because the cloth that's used is from a dress of a woman that I knew, and that was her name. These buttons are also from her dress, which I love because they are essentially like an Odin's cross medicine wheel. So yeah. So that's Myrna. Your room is one of my favorite setups that I've seen on YouTube. Oh, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. Yeah, I love Myrna. I have a thing for besoms. They kind of come to me. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I collect them because it's not an active thing that I do. They just kind of end up with me. It's also like I'm the harbinger of wayward tarot decks as well. Like people give me tarot decks and most of them I don't even use. Like I only really click with a few. And then like the others I just kind of keep because they're not mine. Like they're meant for someone else, and then someone else will come along and they'll be talking one day or something like that, and I'll go, "Ooh, okay, here, look at this. What do you think?" You know, and then hand it off. So I'm kind of like that with tarot decks. Yeah, you know, I thought about doing a live chat one day where I was just kind of like gonna ask you guys what you wanted to see in the back, because I do get a lot of questions about like what's in the background or what's on my bookshelves or what's on my altar or like what's in the room. And I have done an altar tour, but I never know what to focus on and what not to focus on in those, so I just kind of skim. And there are a lot of things that have like a deep meaning to me in this room that I would love to tell the story of, but I also don't know which stories you guys want to hear. So maybe I'll do like a live chat with that someday where you can just ask me and I'll tell you. Uh-oh. Neighbor's dog. Well, I'm sorry to hear that your besom broke. The stick is 10 foot tall. Jeez, lady. Are you going to walk it or is it going to walk you? This is where I do a little dance because I'm waiting for the chat to kick up. There we go. Might use it as a pole vaulting stick. It might be useful for that at this point. Yeah, 10 feet tall. That's, you know, walk tall, carry a big stick. Well, you're doing it. You got that part right. Oh, thank you, Nikki. Yeah, no, I love my chats with Joey. Like, the truth is like we do chats like that a lot. And you guys just don't see it. Like we usually will pop in like, oh, I found this in my coffee, or I found this, you know, in my bathwater, or oh, I had this dream, or you know, that kind of thing where we connect and we talk about like the energies that are going on. And so like we just started going, well, maybe we should do this for you guys as well, because you might like some of those topics. And you guys are really enjoying it so far, it seems like. I've had good feedback on my end. She's had good feedback on her end. So we're definitely going to continue them. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I love her face, so we would continue them anyway. But it's nice to know that you guys also really enjoy them. With all the wind and rain, I have a whole back and front yard full of big sticks in my yard. I have many I've picked up. Yeah, you could probably like build a whole nother house with them by now. Yes, love the chats with Joey. Yeah, I've loved talking to Joey. She's such a deep thinker, and she has a heart just as big as her brain, as I've said recently. And I stand by that statement. More Joey chats. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I said, like, I have the Beyond the Boundaries series on my channel, and I know she's going to be on a bunch for that because she just is, basically. Yeah, but I'm sure there'll be plenty to come. She's awesome. No one can deny the awesomeness that is Joey. So, but what do you guys think of, like, if I did a live and I just, like, showed the background? Like, you guys could get kind of a interactive thing with seeing the background, because I get, like I said, I get a lot of comments on the background. So yeah, I'll show some things and some stuff. Sweet. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll have to do that then. I'll schedule like a live interactive room tour. Yeah, you know, me too, Nikki. She says, for those later, she says, that would be epic. I love hearing the stories behind people's treasures. Me too. And those are the videos where, like, I really enjoy. I mean, it's pretty to look at something, you know, like, that's nice too. But I like hearing the meaning behind it for people. I like hearing why they chose that thing, or why it's in their background, or why they have that, what it means to them, what experience they have with it. I think that's really special. I just don't know where to start. So if it's live, you guys can just ask, like, what do you see in the background, you know? And I'll start talking. We all know I'm good at talking. But yeah, cool. Okay, so do you guys have any questions in terms of Witchy Firsts, anything like that that you would like to ask me? I'm going to give it like 5 or 6 minutes, and then I'm going to head out after this because, quite frankly, I'm hungry. And I'm not about to be like, all right, hold on, y'all, let me go get some lasagna or something like that. Lasagna would be awesome right now. Yeah, exactly, Nikki. Yes, because I may have something similar, but it means something totally different because it's mine, right? I learned so much from these. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was just having that conversation about tarot cards today, too. Is like everybody worries about like what the right interpretation is. And the cards shift and change. And you can read a ton of books on the classic Rider-Waite, and not all the books are going to say the same thing, even. It really is, it has to do with your own Rolodex, your own personal interpretations and meanings that you place on things, your intentions there, in combination with the symbols that you're getting through, and also the person you're reading for tarot. So it changes, it shifts, it undulates. I just wanted to say that word. It's fun. Undulate. I'm really digging the live chats lately, though. They're fun. I get to know you guys. So, questions. Any questions? Last round. It's like a bar. West Crow. Well, I did like a like 13 questions in the beginning, but yeah. So it'll be there, but I'm sorry that you always catch the end of things. What was my first tarot deck? Oh man, hold on, I'll get it because I haven't shown it yet. Like I've always talked about it, but I haven't shown it. So let me get it. Everybody stay on the shelf, please. Let's not have a meltdown. Thank you. It's a real worry. All right, so my first tarot deck was the original Mythic Tarot. And to me, this looks backwards, so hopefully to you guys it's not. But yeah, it was the original, the Mythic Tarot. First Oracle deck was... I have to think about this one. Probably medicine cards. Boop. Yep, medicine cards were one of my first ones, which is animals. And I like this one also to learn on because it kind of, it made you also look at what the animal means to you, not just like the default definition or like the stories about them, but also like how they come into your life, how they affect it. So that was one of them, definitely. That was probably the first. Right now, I heavily use Earth Magic, though, which, like, these are today's cards for Earth Magic, guys. The first two are mine, like, for me. So, Dawn and Full Moon. And then this is my business one today. So, Spring Equinox Rebirth, which, if you guys don't know, I do have a business. I do spiritual mentoring and tarot reading and things of that nature. And then I'm also a death midwife, but that's like a local thing. I obviously can't care for dead bodies via the internet. Oh, nice. I've got the Druid Oracle. Druid Animal Oracle is beautiful as well. Oh, so it was yours too. Yeah. So the Druid Animal Oracle was a pretty popular one for that. I honestly use, like, most people are like, you know, Oracle or Tarot, and I use them together a lot. I would have to say, like, an instant grab is usually my Earth Magic. And then, like, I have my Rider-Waite here, but that's not usually a go-to. My go-to of the Tarot is the Tarot of the She by Emily Carding, I think. Yeah, Emily Carding. And these cards are freaking gorgeous. They are very emotive, and they look literally like things that I've drawn when I was younger. And as you can see, they are well loved. But yeah. Here's a dark one. Yeah. The Emperor. Come on, focus. Focus. There you go. So yeah, they're just very vivid and they have a flow. They're very emotive. I love them. They do change up the names of the suits in this. It's dancers, dreamers, makers, and warriors. But I honestly kind of like that. Uh-oh, things are happening. Don't hit my keyboard. There we go. I bought a Rider-Waite deck and I cannot connect to it, but I did find a tarot deck that I do. It's beautiful creatures. Beautiful creatures. That sounds familiar, but it's not ringing a bell. I'll have to go look them up. But honestly, like the Rider-Waite, when I first started out, was not the thing that I connected to. The Mythic Tarot was the one that like got me into doing things, basically. The Mythic Tarot is the one that I really like jived with, and that was because it worked with mythology, and mythology was like one of my first loves. So it makes sense because it goes with the Greek mythos, which here, I'll pull these out. She is the prim, proper lady of all of my decks. So that's the original book. Again, well loved. But this is the, I'm going to get this one out. This is the Mythic Tarot. This was my first deck. I wish the sun wasn't so bright. There we go. The Hermit. Strength. They're beautiful cards too. And for some reason, even though these are obviously very based on the Rider-Waite deck, they they stood out to me. Like I was able to connect to them more for whatever reason. So yeah, that's what I did. Look at that. Yeah. Let's see here. Tarot of the She, right? Tarot of the She is amazing. I love the Tarot of the She. It's gorgeous. Let's see. Beautiful creatures was how much you have. You know what? Hold up. Because the beauties of the internet. Ooh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember this deck now. Okay. Yeah. Very pretty. Very pretty. Nice. The artist always like vaguely reminds me of Mark Ryden's work. I don't know if you guys know who Mark Ryden is. He's probably one of my favorite artists, next to like the classic like Edvard Munch. I love Munch. It's one of my first big loves in terms of art. I can't pay for shit, but I admire the hell out of all of it. Nice. Glad you did it live. Oh, thanks, Pixie. I'm glad I did it live too. And for anybody joining, which hello to everybody joining now. What part of Virginia am I from? Well, right now I'm in Ohio. I don't live in Virginia anymore. But when I did, I lived out on the East Coast. Out all the way on the water. I'm not going to tell the town because it's like a population 300 tiny town, and like my family still lives there, and this is the internet. But it was like mid coast, wasn't southern, wasn't lower. DC was like 2-3 hour drive north of us, but we were all the way out on the water. Like I grew up surrounded by water in 3 directions. Like the, you know, in Practical Magic, like the little town that they show, like that quaint little seaside town, like that's what back home looks a lot like. Like when I watch that movie, it makes me homesick because I want to go like shuck oysters and get on a boat and visit like the local mom and pops and yeah. So pretty much. And soft crab sandwiches. It's a whole other thing, guys. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, like if you went from Richmond like all the way out to the coast, about that area, we'll say that. Try not to have people just like show up on my mom's doorstep. You know what I mean? Oh my god, I love the East Coast. Yeah, I know. East Coast is awesome. I haven't been to the West Coast. I wanna go there and see what that's like. But yeah, I am a East Coast person living in the Midwest now. In the Midwest, like northernmost Midwest, I guess you could say. Like across the lake is Canada. I've been told that the energy on the East Coast is really different than the West Coast. I mean, I can't say for sure because I haven't been, but yeah. My brother said that when he went, he had a hard time adjusting to the lack of humidity because in Virginia, if you've been to Virginia, you know, like it's really humid there. And I guess in the West Coast, there's a dry heat. So like he would get nosebleeds and stuff because it was so dry. Okay, Richmond and Charlottesville. Yep. Got it. All right. So let's see. Is everybody good on the questions? Any others? Speak now or forever hold your peace, at least until I do another live. I wondered, okay, yeah, because I know, okay, so for those watching later, Wes Chris said, I'm not a fan of the movie, but I grew up on the West Coast, and when I lived up north, I used to watch Twilight when I miss the forests back home. Yeah, no, I can relate to doing that, because when I miss Virginia, I also, oh God, so YouTube is great, because I can go on and I can look up, like, Tangier Island accent or like Chesapeake Bay accent or something like that, and like I feel like I'm back home. Like they're not even talking about anything relative, but just hearing the accents, I'm just like so happy. So yeah, I can absolutely relate to that. I also use YouTube like that. There are people that drive around on their car with their dash camera on, and it just shows you like the scenery. So sometimes I'll go and like I used to love going to the mountains in the Shenandoah and everything, and like the Blue Ridge Parkway. And there are videos of people driving through it, and every now and then I'll go and watch it just because I feel like being back in that atmosphere. Okay, Nikki, you think of some juicy ones for next time. You're at West Coast. It ain't that great. You're not missing anything. Well, damn. Yeah, I agree, Doobie-Doo. I really like the live chats because it gives me a chance to get to know everybody. And I also feel like I get to just be more of myself on it instead of, you know, all the editing and everything. Also, it's easier. Let's be honest. It's much easier to just like, sorry, that's lipstick on my hand. What is that one? Mascara, maybe, I don't know. I'm a mess. So also, like that stuff, I would have edited out because it just makes like a shorter video. I say a lot. I say like a lot. You might have noticed from the last chat with Joey. And it takes up a lot of time. And usually with videos that you pre-upload like that aren't live, you want to keep it as like short and succinct as possible, so that you can get like all the information in, because everybody don't have like 5 hours to be watching a video about your life, man. So yeah, I usually edit because of that, but this is kind of fun because I get to just hang out with you guys, and that's cool. What's my favorite witchy music? What's my favorite witchy music? Oh gosh, I like so much. It depends on my mood. So like Lorena McKennett's Book of Shadows, like that album specifically, is like my childhood growing up within ritual, within drumming circle, within like that's going to my mother's house and her friend and having tea and then drumming. Like, yeah. And then I love Wardruna. And Hagalaz's Rune Dance is amazing. If you had asked me when I was in my early 20s, late teens, I would have said Incubus Succubus because I love them. I like a lot of them. I also like a lot of like folk metal, and like if you haven't noticed, guys, musically I'm all over the place. I am all over the place. I will listen to reggae, then listen to doom metal and like sludge metal, and then go to like world music, to freaking what else? I know opera. I'm trained in Italian arias. I used to take singing lessons when I was younger. But it's like a phobia that I have, singing in front of people. So it's rare that happens. I'm slowly working with that fear. But you might ask, like, why did I take the lessons if I was afraid? Well, because taking the lessons is still something I like doing. Like, I still like singing. So yeah, but no, my musical tastes are all over the place. I like blues. I like a lot of like the old country, like Cash and Haggard and Willie Nelson, and which I hear he's in like really bad condition, and that hurts my heart. I like Bella Morte. I like Depeche Mode. I like Bajas. I like Joy Division. I like The Cure. I like Morbid Angel. I'm all over the place. I've listened rap. I love Tupac. Everything. I don't know. Whatever creates like a really nice atmosphere, and like gets that emotion across, I like. But yeah, Lorena McKenna is amazing. She is actually, there's a live version, a live concert of her and Alhambra on Netflix right now. And if you guys have not watched it, go and watch it. It is amazing. I will put it on in the background and just leave it playing. 56 notes and everything too. Yes, exactly. Well-rounded. Yeah. I grew up in a household with a lot of different musical tastes, and so I just kind of adapted from that. Like my dad liked to listen to older country, and he was a really big blues fan, so like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then he'd also listen to like, you know, the Pointers, and God, yeah, he loved Fats Domino, stuff like that. And then my mom was like Beach Boys and the Supremes and like anything that had a good beat to it. Like she loved Shaggy from the 90s. She was like, my one brother was all into like classic rock stuff, like, you know, Zeppelin and things like that. My other brother was into like Grateful Dead and Fish and all over the place. So I grew up with a very wide array of things. Yes, music is amazing for raising energy. Being able to enjoy all the genres helps a lot. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. Like I think people don't think about is when you're doing ritual and stuff, it doesn't have to be like witchy music even. Like I have done ritual, like I'll make playlists on Spotify that are around like a mood or a theme that I'm working with. So like there's one called The Wolf, and my fetch is a wolf. And so anything that brings out that like wolf feeling to me, that kind of essence, I will put on that playlist. And when I am doing any work that has to do with that, I tend to play that playlist. So, you know, you can work with it in that way. It doesn't have to be like a literal song that's chanting the elements, you know? I'll go put it on Netflix here in a few when I do the... Yes! Do it. And the name is literally like Lorena McKennitt live at Alhambra, I believe. It's very literal. Different seasons make you listen to different kinds of music. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Like 90s grunge in the fall, classic rock in the summer. You know, I do get on like a southern rock, classic rock kind of kick when summer hits. You're right. Especially like if I'm driving back home, I need some Skynyrd at some point. Like there's a need there that must be filled. You can't road trip without some Skynyrd. I'm sorry. But yeah, gosh. Honestly, my husband and I, we first kind of connected over music. We met each other on OkCupid like almost 12 years ago. It'll be 12 in June. Nope, wait, it would be 12 because this is May, and the 20th of this month is when we actually first talked. So yeah, almost 12 years. And his first message to me wasn't like age, sex, location, which is on my profile, so stop asking things that are already there. But his first question to me was, so what do you think of the new Nine Inch Nails album? And I was like, ding, 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 we have a winner. And then he managed to use the words exponential and soliloquy within the first like few hours of talking to him in a correct way. And I was like, yep, you're coming with me, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, Sweet Home About... You know what? My favorite Skynyrd song, though, is probably Voodoo Lake. I love Voodoo Lake. I don't think a lot of people know it, though, so, like, look that up. It's good shit. Voodoo Lake. I like Tuesday's Gone. But Simple Man is, like, my best friend and I's karaoke song. So that one kind of holds a special place. But Voodoo Lake has that, like, swampy kind of attitude, and I love that shit. I love that shit. You guys have really liked music, so you picked a good topic for me to gush about. Fleetwood Mac is amazing. I adore Stevie Nicks. And Lindsey Buckingham is amazing as well. He's an amazing guitarist. Gosh. Yeah. Love My Life, died, played Simple Man at his funeral. Simple Man is a beautiful song. It really is. It's great lyrics, you know, forget your lust for the rich man's gold, all that you need is in your soul. Like, yes, you know? Exactly. Gosh, what was I gonna say though? Oh, my dad's song, because my dad has passed away, for those of you who don't know, which was a big part of my journey in the last like 2 or 3 years. But the song for him is Stand By Me by Benny King. That song, every time I'm like, and I made a playlist for that too. I made a playlist that's dedicated to my dad, like playlists, all kinds of witchy magic within that stuff. Let's see. One of the first songs I learned how to play on guitar was Redemption Song by Bob Marley. That's a little side note. That's my guitar back here. And that one is another very long Simple Man where it's like, you know, Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Like, I had that scrawled on my wall as a teenager. Like, there was a section where the wall jutted out to a window, so like a little cubby, because I lived in the half story of our story and a half house. And this entire cubby was filled with either like inside jokes or song lyrics or quotes, because I am a quote collector. I love quotes. And yeah. Stairway to Heaven is amazing. Yeah, Stairway to Heaven was really good. What was some of the other first ones? I learned One by Metallica. Come As You Are by Nirvana. Those were some of the first ones that I learned. I also know pieces of Gaelic Storm's The Storm. I didn't ever get the whole song, but I know pieces of it. Oh, and that one Santana song. Oh, what was it called? Hey now, all you sinners, leave your lights on. That song. Leave your lights on, cause there's a monster under my bed. It's whispering in my ear. What is the name of it? They did it with Rob Thomas, I think it was. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't remember it. Hold on. I'm looking it up. Put Your Lights On. Yeah, Put Your Lights On. It was Santana featuring Everlast, because I also used to like Everlast a lot. November, Guns N' Roses is a gorgeous song. That song reminds me of being on my friend's, also Knocking on Heaven, their version of it. Reminds me of being on my friend's roof, because she had like the porch, and then her window, her bedroom window went out onto it, so you could sit on the roof of the porch, with her smoking a cigarette and being like really stressed out, and me just like chilling, talking to her in the middle of the night. Like, I walked down the road and was just kind of like chilling on top of her roof, watching the moon. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Nikki. I get nervous singing. Like, I get very nervous singing. Especially if it's on the spot, like, okay, sing for me. And I'm like, How long have I been on this, guys? Like, what's happening here right now? Oh my goodness. It's been like an hour. You guys and your questions about music and stuff. You could be here for days talking about that. Black Magic Woman is a great song, though. I also really liked like Desperado. That's a really good song. The Eagles. I like I said, I grew up with like all kinds of eras of music in one house. So I'll listen to pretty much anything. Like right now there's this song called Hello, My Name is Human that I've been like addicted to. Who's it by? Crap. This is gonna happen. Highly Suspect. I've been listening to that a lot because of the lyrics. I really like the lyrics. So yeah, I can flip from like Sepultura to pop to, yeah, pretty much anything. Yeah. Guns N' Roses, though, reminds me of my childhood a lot. Yeah. So, I don't know, guys. Favorite witchy music is like anything that fits the vibe of what I'm doing. If I'm working with Hel, 1L, the goddess, a lot of times I listen to Helvegan by Wardruna, and I'll put it on repeat and just let it keep going and journey that way. Wardruna is great to journey to. Also, Fever Ray has a lot of really good stuff too. She is actually the person that does the Vikings theme song, If I Had a Heart. So if you don't know her and you like the Vikings theme song, look up Fever Ray. Ray. So I have loved I have a guilty pleasure that is like bluegrass and such. And there's this genre called Southern Gothic, and it's like if bluegrass met the themes of like goth or doom, and they had like a baby, that would be what it is. And oh my gosh, like there's a playlist on Spotify called Southern Gothic, and it's amazing. Everybody look. That's where I found the band Dorothy, which if you follow Joey, then you know, like she loves Dorothy too. Dorothy is amazing. Yeah, Jed Clampett. It's kind of like, how do you describe flat footing? It's kind of like tap dancing, but not. I don't know. Yeah, 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 pretty much. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. All right. I'll do one last round, and then I'll sip my coffee, and then I'm good. I gotta get out of here. Put some food in my belly. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Maybe tacos. I think my husband made tacos last night, and I didn't eat any. So there should still be taco meat. Tacos. It is the day after Cinco de Mayo. I'll have some tacos. That's literally what happened. Is he's like, I've been hearing about Cinco de Mayo all day. I want some freaking tacos, and so he made himself some tacos. It's proactive. Oh yeah, this is my mug. I love mugs. It's a thing. I collect them. Charlie says go, and I do tea and tarot stuff monthly. This last month we weren't able to, but on the 10th, actually, so like this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, adjusted accordingly, for 2 hours we will be talking. And like every time it's called tea and tarot. So tea, we bring a mug, and we bring a mug that says something about either ourselves or the topic, that kind of thing. And so like that kind of gave me an excuse to start kidnapping all the mugs that I can. Yo, ghost mugs! I have a, let's see, I've got a Vader mug. I've got a bunch of different skull mugs. I collect skulls. It's a thing. If it's black and white, black, white, and gray, or it has skulls on it, it is my friend. Yeah, but I love The Grinch. You can't have Christmas without watching The Grinch. Like, growing up, that was a thing. It can't be that time of year and you don't watch the original Grinch cartoon. Yes, your bucket of coffee. I have one that's massive. It's a cappuccino mug, and it says "Treat yourself," which is like a Parks and Rec reference for anyone that gets that. I love it. You're welcome. No, I love doing the chats, guys. Like, this is awesome. Bat mug. Ah. I do. I love mugs. Yeah, okay. So let's see. Anything I need to say or announce or any of that shit? I'm thinking. So I told you on Wednesday. Coffee burp. On Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Charlie's channel, I'll be doing Tea and Tarot live there, and we will have Dawn Champagne of the Goddess Diaries on, and we'll be talking about like sex, sensuality, and all the things that go with having a Taurus sun and a Scorpio moon happening. And then I don't know, if you haven't already, check out my website, chrisashburn.com. I've got an ancestral course on there. I've got readings. I do intuitive spiritual mentoring, which is like basically helping people learn anything that I know. Like, literally, you just get full access to anything I know, and we talk, and I help you through things, and I teach you stuff. Oh, I like the Eat, Drink, and Be Scary mug. That sounds awesome. I have one that says Resting Witch Face. That's one of my favorites. And it's a huge cappuccino mug, too. Like the size of my face now. But yeah, so let's see. I don't know when, but I will schedule it ahead of time, and I will post it on. I'll post it on my Facebook page. So for those of you who don't have it, like, look up Chris Ashburn Midwifery for the Soul on Facebook, like that page, and then you'll be alerted. So that, yeah, you barely made it, Random. You like slid in right at the fucking end. No, what was I gonna say? Oh no, like the page, and then like when I do the live interactive background thing, you guys will know when it's happening for sure. Because I'll just post it on there. Well, that's okay, Random. I forgive you. I mean, the other day I watched you make pot roast, and I was like, damn, I want some pot roast. And then we had to go grocery shopping that night. So guess what I got? Yeah. Okay, guys. Random, message me on Facebook because I need to talk to you with your face and your stuff. Because I know I have you on my friends list. But yeah, everybody else, thank you for being here. Thank you for asking questions. I got to talk about music with you guys, which makes me super happy because I love music. And yeah, thanks for sharing parts of your life with me. I will see you next time. Be sure to like the Facebook page so that you know when I do this again, so you can ask me the questions about the things and stuff. in the back. All right. So I'll see your faces later. Bye.